nominations include Matt Gaetz for Attorney General and Tulsi Gabbard for Director of National Intelligence. Additionally, Trump announced the formation of the Department of Government Efficiency, spearheaded by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, to reduce federal waste. Musk's influence in Trump's victory and transition planning has been significant. Wall Street remains confident in the defense sector, reflected in the rise of defense stocks. These appointments signal a strong push for government efficiency and streamlined military spending. Republicans have retained control of the House, marking a significant victory for the GOP. President-elect Trump has chosen Rep. Matt Gaetz for Attorney General and Senator Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, demonstrating loyalty and commitment to conservative principles. However, Gaetz faces a difficult confirmation process. Senate Republicans elected John Thune as their new leader, following Mitch McConnell. Thune's leadership will bring strong alignment with President Trump's agenda. House Speaker Johnson, praised by Trump, prepares for a unified Republican government, focusing on mass deportations, tax cuts, and a robust defense policy. The GOP aims for a seamless transition of power. Trump's latest nominations signal bold changes. He selected Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence, demonstrating a focus on loyalty over tradition. Gabbard, formerly a Democratic congresswoman, now aligns with Trump, adding a unique perspective to intelligence leadership. Along with Matt Gaetz as Attorney General and Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, Trump is building a dedicated team for his second term. These choices emphasize Trump's commitment to shaking up Washington and implementing his vision. Supporters see this as a promising direction for robust governance and accountability. Governor Hochul aims to bring back a costly $15 toll on vehicles entering Manhattan, ignoring the heavy burdens already facing drivers. Her plan, initially suspended to protect Democrats in suburban elections, now resurrected just as President-elect Trump promises to oppose it. Hochul proposes a reduced $9 toll, but critics argue it still adds unnecessary expenses. Trump's victory has prompted this rushed effort, but many believe it harms businesses and commuters. Hochul suggests new taxes to cover revenue losses, raising concerns among opponents who see it as an avoidable financial strain during tough economic times. The Ohio Senate has approved SB 104, a bill requiring public K-12 schools and higher education institutions to provide separate bathrooms based on gender assigned at birth, enhancing safety and privacy. Governor DeWine, supportive of the bill, will conduct a legal review before signing. The ACLU of Ohio opposes this measure, arguing it compromises the safety of LGBTQ+ individuals. The Center for Christian Virtue applauded the bill, highlighting it as a victory for families and common-sense legislation to protect young females. If signed, this law would reflect similar measures already in place in at least 11 other states. Senator Bob Casey refuses to concede, accusing Senator-elect Dave McCormick of trying to disenfranchise voters through lawsuits. McCormick, leading by over 29,000 votes, faces automatic recount if the margin remains below 0.5%. Casey demands all votes be counted, while McCormick's legal challenges aim to discard problematic ballots. Pennsylvania's election integrity is under scrutiny, highlighting the need for strict voting regulations to ensure fair outcomes. Despite minor issues, Pennsylvania's officials managed a largely uneventful election. Republican efforts focus on protecting election laws and maintaining confidence in the democratic process. A CIA official with top security clearance has been arrested for leaking highly classified documents about Israel's plans to retaliate against Iran's missile attack. This critical breach underlines the urgent need for a comprehensive overhaul of our national security agencies. The arrest of Asif W. Rehman, carried out by the FBI in Cambodia, follows an investigation triggered by the dissemination of these sensitive documents online. The Republican administration's proposed measures to clean up and strengthen these agencies are more critical than ever. Severe floods in Spain forced thousands of evacuations as heavy rainfall pounded parts of Valencia and Malaga, regions with a history of devastating weather. National Weather Agency put Valencia under the highest alert as torrential rains continue. Malaga saw nearly a month's worth of rain in just 1 hour, flooding streets and causing substantial disruptions. Authorities closed schools and evacuated residents. Emergency services remain on high alert. The government must prioritize effective infrastructure and emergency response plans. These measures are crucial to protecting citizens and ensuring public safety amidst unpredictable weather conditions. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose by 100 points today as traders analyzed the favorable post-election rally and new inflation data. October's Consumer Price Index report aligned with expectations, with a 2.6% year-over-year rise and core inflation at 3.3%. The CPI stayed steady month over month, relieving fears of a potential rate pause from the Federal Reserve. Rising bets on a December rate cut manifest optimism in the market. Dollar strength surged, driven by speculations of President Trump's proposed tariffs reshaping currency markets. This reflects confidence in the upcoming pro-growth economic policies. President-elect Donald Trump's decision to nominate Representative Matt Gaetz as Attorney General has caused notable alarm among Senate Republicans. Gaetz, a fervent Trump supporter, promises to reform the Justice Department, but his past legal investigations raise concerns about his Senate confirmation. This controversial choice highlights Trump's preference for loyal allies over established experts. Alongside Gaetz, Trump has named Senator Marco Rubio as Secretary of State and former Representative Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence, underscoring his commitment to trusted associates in key positions. These selections set the stage for an ambitious agenda in the new administration. President-elect Donald Trump's transition team is considering an executive order to review top military leaders, aiming to improve strategic readiness and military excellence. A proposed warrior board of retired military personnel would recommend the removal of generals and admirals deemed ineffective. With Trump's intent to address the impact of diversity initiatives on military readiness and Pete Hegseth nominated for Defense Secretary, this move signals a shift towards prioritizing traditional leadership qualities. Critics oppose these plans, highlighting concerns about politicizing military leadership, but Trump's team stresses fulfilling campaign promises with a mandate from voters. Florida faces potential danger from Tropical Storm Sarah, likely forming soon in the Caribbean. National Hurricane Center forecasts a 90% chance of development in the next 2 days, with possible landfall in Florida next week. Early models indicate Sarah could become a major hurricane. The storm may exploit unusually warm water temperatures, particularly in the Gulf of Mexico, fueled by record-high ocean heat. As Sarah forms, Floridians should prepare for possible severe weather events. With current conditions favorable for strengthening, state officials must be vigilant and ready to respond effectively to protect residents and property. President-elect Donald Trump nominates loyalist Matt Gaetz as Attorney General, prioritizing loyalty and alignment with his agenda. Gaetz pledges to overhaul the Justice Department and protect America's borders. Trump also selects Florida Senator Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, marking a significant shift towards stronger foreign policy stances against China, Cuba, and Iran. Rubio, once a Trump critic, now closely supports Trump's vision. Additionally, Trump names former Democratic Representative Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence, reflecting his willingness to cross party lines for qualified candidates. President Biden will meet Chinese President Xi Jinping on Saturday at the APEC summit in Peru, marking their third and likely final discussion during Biden's term. This meeting occurs as Biden prepares to transition power to President-elect Donald Trump. Over recent years, Biden's policies following Trump's lead have strained U.S.-China relations. Trump's resurgence promises to bring a tougher stance, potentially imposing significant tariffs on Chinese imports. Trump has announced key nominations for his upcoming administration, selecting Matt Gaetz as Attorney General and Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, signaling a robust approach to restoring American leadership. Israel's recent Operation Days of Repentance has devastated Iranian missile production capabilities, signaling a major victory in curbing Tehran's aggression. With President Trump planning to reinstate a maximum pressure campaign on Iran and cut off their massive oil revenues, tensions in the Middle East are expected to rise. Trump's nominee for UN Ambassador, Elise Stefanik, and Secretary of State hopeful Marco Rubio both support Israel's right to defend itself decisively. Disclosures of classified plans have not deterred Israel's defensive readiness and underscore the importance of strong, decisive actions to maintain security in the region. President-elect Donald Trump's decision to nominate Representative Matt Gaetz as Attorney General has caused notable alarm among Senate Republicans. Gaetz, a fervent Trump supporter, promises to reform the Justice Department, but his past